Hi, good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to discuss this very controversial Bill C-12 that a lot in social media is talking about, TikTok, Instagram, you can see it. So what is this really Bill C-12, right? And they always pose the question that is concerning and threatening or scaring people, right? So anyone is more than welcome to Google or go to ChatGPT and understand it more than listening to hearsays and scaring people's reaction about the Bill C-12. So the bottom line of the Bill C-12 is about the strengthening of the border, right? Between the border of Canada and United States of America. So if you're familiar with the political backdrop of Canada and America, ever since Trump became the president of United States of America, his goal is to strengthen the borders, right? He don't want anyone just to get into the country. They call that national security in United States of America. And you can't blame Donald Trump. He has his own goal. He has his own reasons why he's doing that as a president of United States of America. But we go back to the main topic on how this Bill C-12 concerns, for example, go back to Canada's scenario, to temporary foreign workers, visitors visa, and permanent residents. So the biggest kind of vague and very questionable power that will give the CBSA and the IRCC, the bottom line of this bill, is it will give them more power, right? To the government, right, could cancel, suspend, or vary immigration documents, such as visas, work permits, study permits, electronic travel authorizations, as in the public interest. So, meaning it's another term of national security. It's we could say public interest. For example, it will harm people, it will affect some people. And because of that, your visas, your ETA, your permanent residency, if proven, right, that you are, then they could cancel or suspend your status. So that's the whole thing. It is not just, oh, I'm going to cancel you because of this or that. It needs to be always facts, right? Fact check, evidences against you, everything in life or in Canada. We get a robust legal system, I hope so, that you can't just revoke someone's visa or status without a valid reason. But this bill will give the CBSA or the IRCC extra boost, right, to execute that or to cancel or suspend somebody's temporary foreign worker permit, visitor's visa, even permanent resident, or ETA. So that's why you can see a lot of people now, their ETA is canceled, right, upon arrival, because there are a few reasons too, right? They go back home and then they come back again for a few days, and what is the reason? So this is the precarious time of immigration where I always discuss this on my blog, right? It's like a 360 degrees change, right? On the immigration landscape. So everybody needs to be fully aware what they're doing because they're very, very strict right now, right? Since it is claimed that the immigration numbers is high, which is true, right? When you open the gate, and then a lot of people come into the country and it will never going to be justified, right? For example, for housing, for economy, right? So how could you house these people, right? If your economy is not good, and then the healthcare system of Canada, right, cannot take this overload burden of people. So you always go back to that because first world countries have their system, right? Their healthcare, for example, in Canada, we're so known to have a free healthcare system, but it's falling apart because there's so many people in the country. So many factors. I don't want to go down to the details of that because it's always political in the end. And this blog is not about the political landscape because that would be just another another blog for sure itself. So what is the impact on this on temporary foreign workers? Because I know I have lots of viewers who kept on asking me or temporary foreign workers on that situation. So it will might be affected by Bill C-12 based on how the bill is structured and the concerns raised by experts. So there are always concerns in everything that we do. There's no magic bullet, but this one is more specific for temporary foreign workers, the risk of permit cancellation. But it's not just, oh, I cancel your permit without reason, right? Without valid proof. It's always the probable cause, right? Because the bill gives the government authority to cancel or suspend work permits, among other immigration documents, in exceptional circumstances. So take note, it's not just, without reason. It's exceptional circumstances, or what they call, what I mentioned, the public interests, right? TFW might be more exposed to losing their permit status, right? But for example, right, you're in visitor's visa and you're working in McDonald's, it's not allowed because visitor visa are not allowed to work, or you still keep working and you didn't extend your work permit extension. Again, that's illegal, right? You're violating the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, right? While there are safeguards, the decision would go through governor and council, not just a single minister. The discretionary power is broader than the current system. So it's not just one minister. It will go to another minister. As you can see, the political landscape of Canada, there are like ministers, right, in specific areas. So higher compliance and verification burden on employers. It's always like that. The employers will be checked. Employers must follow this and that. And increased information sharing risks. So this is all about like your personal information. It will not be like shared only with the IRCC, but only in some organization or in the government, because they want to verify your information is correct before it's more in like the IRCC, right? We'll have all those your personal information, but with this law, it might be shared, right? And specifically also will be shared because this is the bill that talks about strengthening both borders, right, of the United States of America. And then start a visa and business streams, there's always like an effect of everything, right, that they do. Criticism and risk. Advocacy groups warn the Bill C-12 weakens refugee protection by denying some people access to fair hearings and pushing them into less protective processes. So I'm kind of familiar with this because I'm studying, right, in Immigration Refugee Board. Canada's always have laws in order to protect asylum seekers, protected person. But with this one, they're more strict because some people always manipulate the system. And because of this, if you claim this year and then you claim again in a few months, you're not allowed to do that anymore, right? Because again, they got a huge backlash with the refugee and asylum seekers, right? Because some people are not even qualified, but they are in the system. And the government is like paying, I don't even want to say it, but lots of money to house these people, right? Taxpayers' money. That's another thing. It's not even their money. It's the taxpayers' money. And they got a backlash with that, so they need to strengthen that and to protect, right, what is, and then again, security risk, right? National interest is always, some people are using that for money laundering, crimes, illegal entry in the country with so many factors, right? So the bottom line, because I got lots of viewers and clients that might be listening on this blog, is the increase of risk, right? TFW could face more risk in losing their status because the government can more readily cancel work permits if it deems it in the public interest. So if in the public interest, you're harming someone or it's not, you're violating something, and then the government can cancel your permits, whatever it is, so whatever status is that. More scrutiny, employers or TFW may need to be more careful and compliant, which could affect how attractive the programs is for them. And I can see that lately that most employers now are very challenged to boot because LMAs, especially restaurants and all of other areas that are not deemed labor shortage, are only 10%, right? Can hire because of immigration backlash. So uncertainty, the broader cancellation powers could create a less predictable environment for temporary farm workers, potentially discouraging people from coming or pushing them to be more cautious. So in the end of this bill, we just need to be vigilant, plan ahead, always plan ahead what you will do. Then don't put yourself in a very precarious situations, right? So be careful on what you're doing, because if this bill C-12 will be passed, and this will be impact especially temporary foreign workers, visitors visa, and someone who holds the ETA, right? So for now, this is all my blog. It's been it's 10 minutes or so already. But if you have questions, comment below. We can dissect it more. It's more information, especially for Immigration and Refugee Protection Act on the refugee RPD. We call that Refugee Protection Division, the Refugee Appeal Division, that will claim asylum or refugee in our country. So there are huge rules in that with regards to that, to strengthen that issues. But for now, this is Estela Balenciaga. Happy to see you today, and CEO of All Out Immigration Services. If you have a question, comments below, like and share. If you have someone that on that situation, this blog might help. Have a great day for everyone. Bye for now.